Hi, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about normal respiration or our normal breathing. I'm going to be using a little animation to kind of show what that looks like. But before we get into that, what I want to talk about is I want to talk about what an actual full respiration is. So full respiration is when we are breathing in and we are breathing out. So a lot of times I think of this when people are exercising, they're always like breathe in and then breathe out. So that sounds like it's actually two breaths. That's actually only one breath, because normal respiration, when we take air in and then we expel it out, it is actually the process of doing what's known as inspiration and what's known as expiration. So inspiration is when we are taking air in, and then expiration is when we breathe air out. So when we have one inspiration plus one expiration, so air coming in and out, that is one respiration. Now, normal respiration for an average adult is about 14 to 20 respirations per minute. It is different depending on temperature, exercise, emotions, stress levels, anything like that can change your respiration. During sleep, our respiration does decrease because our activity and our metabolic rates and all of that do tend to calm down. So just know if you're like, oh my gosh, my respirations aren't fitting the normal, that's okay. Everybody is a little bit different, but again, on average, a normal adult or average adult is roughly about 14 to 20 respirations per minute. So what I have here again is I have an animation of what it looks like when we're breathing in and out. So I'm going to just let it run through once so you can, I think we all know what breathing is, but just so you can kind of see it, and then I'll go through and I'll explain what's actually happening. So again, normal breathing, just air coming in and then air going out. Air coming in and air going out. So that's what it looks like when we normally breathe. Now, what you can see in this animation is you can see that there are some arrows. So again, when air comes in, what I want you to notice, so air came in down through the trachea, down through the bronchi, into the alveoli, and into the lungs. What you see is you see a couple arrows. So when we are breathing in, we're doing normal inspiration. What you're going to see is you are going to see your intercostal muscles, so all of the muscles that are in between your ribs that line outside your lungs are basically going to lift outwards. They're going to basically pull your ribs outwards, and you can feel that if you put your hand on your chest and breathe in, you can feel your chest kind of expand. So you're going to have the intercostals kind of pull this way, your sternum's going to raise, and then your diaphragm, which sits right underneath your ribs, the muscle, is going to actually contract. And by contracting, it's this green arrow down here, actually pulls down, which is a little confusing because when you think contracting, you think it's like going to go up or it's going to shorten. What's actually happening is it's pulling down to allow more volume in the lungs. It's kind of opening your chest cavity. I guess we'll say chest cavity. It's expanding basically the area in your thoracic cavity and your thoracic cage or your rib cage to allow there to be more volume in your lungs. That's what actually allows the air to come in. You're doing a little bit of a pressure change to allow there to be more volume, because again, when you change volume and you can change pressure, it does change how air is allowed to come in. So when we breathe in, normal inspiration, again, our intercostal muscles pull outwards, our sternum raises, and our diaphragm contracts, meaning it pulls down. So then when we breathe out, or we have normal expiration, you can see that the arrows basically flip. And that's really all the expiration is. It's the exact opposite of what's happening with inspiration. So that means your intercostal muscles are going to basically relax, and they're going to basically move back in. Your diaphragm is going to relax and cause it to come back up. You're going to have your sternum come back down. And again, that changes the volume of the lungs, which changes the pressure, which then allows us to have a breath in or breath out. So again, if you put your hand on your chest, breathe in, you should feel your chest expand, and then breathe out, everything kind of comes back to normal. Now, breathing out or expiration, that is a normal passive process. So when we're breathing out, it's just everything returning back to normal. So again, if we see this process go through one more time, everything's moving out as air comes in, and then as air moves out, everything's coming back. So again, everything when we breathe in expands, and then when we breathe back out, it goes back to normal. So not only do we have intercostal muscles involved in this, we have the diaphragm involved with this. And again, we have carbon dioxide and oxygen coming in and carbon dioxide coming out. So that's really all It is when we're doing our normal breathing in and out. Is it's a combination of us having those controls, neurological and chemical, telling us we need to breathe, but then we also have signals being sent to muscles such as our intercostals and our diaphragm that need to expand and contract to allow us to have that volume in our lungs. So if you have any questions, again, feel free to email me, but I hope this makes sense, and I will talk to you later.